Okay, I know I already made a little video about this, but I want to go more into detail and just give you guys all the game for free because I just want to yap a little bit because I'm getting a lot of comments about how much people are loving the content, and I guess I'm a sucker for good compliments. Okay, so we're gonna go over the three main things here, which is the health, the wealth, and then the mindset, right, and social life as well, on how you can get everything you want in this video. I guarantee it. If you just follow the stuff I tell you, you will change your life probably a lot faster than 90 days, okay? So I have receipts all over my social medias. You can go and look for them yourselves. But first thing is, how do you get your mind and your health and all that stuff in order? Because if you don't have this thing together, how are you going to get the rest of it together, right? Easiest way to do it is meditation. If you can get a day to just sit down and meditate, just go do that. Like, put a timer down, 20 minutes, no thoughts, no nothing. You want to sharpen your intention, right? Anytime a thought pops up, restart it. It took me 12, 14 hours the first day to do it, but I was able to do 20 minutes in my first day. The next day, a lot faster. If you don't have the time to do that, I understand. Just start with a 20-minute practice every day. I would actually recommend trying to do at least an hour a day, but obviously I don't think anybody can just start off at like an hour. But if you can, definitely try it, because the harder it is, the more you're going to get out of it. That's the whole thing with the philosophy of life, right? And the next one is business. Business is easy. I have hundreds of videos on all my channels. All business comes down to is two business models. The whole internet is two business models: service based or product based. I recommend product based, but if you have no money or experience, then you kind of have to start a service based business and learn for free. And then once you kind of have an idea of what you're doing, you can charge a little bit of money. Then you can get good at what you're doing. Then you can charge a little bit more money. And then you can get better at what you're doing. And then you can charge a little bit more money. And you just kind of repeat the cycle, right? Every 5 clients, you want to start raising your prices by like 25, 50%. Just to kind of, make sure that you're feeding yourself too. Because the thing with business is that you take on a lot more risk, right? So you need to have good margins so you can take care of yourself when things go wrong. Because in the first couple years of business, things do go wrong. Don't buy a stupid car. Don't buy a fancy apartment. I'm seeing it all over the app. The second people make their first 100K in revenue, not even profit, they're out here buying freaking high rises and Lamborghinis or Porsches. Like, there's a reason why they have to shill really BS courses on these apps to people. Don't want to do that. For the first year, sit on your cash. Just for the first year, sit on your cash. Put it back into the business at the end of the year, and then that way you don't, you make some more money that way. But friendships. Now, this is the interesting part, because with friends and like a partner, if you want to get like a boyfriend girlfriend type thing, my thing is I've never really had a girlfriend, but I really wanted friends because I was too scared to date, right? So I just made a lot of friends instead, thinking that it's going to be safer. It turns out those people did be way worse than I think any girl could have done. So I kind of didn't do that. But the fun thing that I got out of doing that is that I got really good at making friends, and that, I actually have girls that like would tell me like how awesome I am, and they wanna like literally lock me down. It's like it was weird, right? Because like for the longest time I would have killed for somebody to like say something like to me, but then when it happened and I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm not even thinking about relationships or anything like that, it's kind of a weird feeling, right? It's like, oh, if you said that to me like 5, 10 years ago, my life would be very different, right? Especially a girl like that saying that to me, right? It would have been kind of crazy. But now I'm like, nah, I kind of have other stuff I want to do first before I do that. So the thing about making friends or relationships actually just comes down to two very like simple things, which is a figuring out what kind of person you either want by just focusing on becoming the type of person you want to be, because then you'll just see whoever you're gonna attract. Just being a good person, honestly, just is pretty much the standard, right? Like just basic manners, basic empathy, I think will get you pretty far, right? Just treat others how you would want to be treated. Literally, it's that simple. The second part is just purely volume. You just want to meet a lot of people. Literally try to meet like 10, 50 people a week. Just, I'm not saying like you have to be friends with everybody. I'm just saying get comfortable meeting people. And I was a very, very hardcore introvert. I wasn't even born in the United States. English was literally my third language, right? I was the shyest person you could think of. I literally had no friends for years. That's literally what gave me the motivation to be like, hey, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So you got to go out there and put in the effort. And then the last thing I want to leave you guys all with is that it's going to take a lot more repetitions than you probably think it's going to take. But the fun part about that is it's going to build your character, because once you make your realizations, the clicks, things just kind of happen, and then you just become that person that just gets that life consistently. This is what actual manifestation looks like, okay? It's not like you just sit in a room and you write 80 things about like I am wealthy, blah blah blah. If you grow up in a very negative household, affirmations are actually going to be really good for you as well. It kind of puts some positivity in your brain, especially if you have like a lot of negative thoughts. Another really good habit is the attitude of gratitude. Anytime you're feeling like a really bad emotion, you can't use that as like a motivation or like a driver to like get you to do stuff that you want to do. Sit there and just make a list of things you're grateful for. One time I like got really bad road rage. I pulled over and for 30 minutes I made like a 280 list, like 280 points list of things I was grateful for. I've never really had that bad of a anger outburst since. Like, I flipped off two people my whole life while driving on the road. If you have driven more than 3 days in your life, you'd probably see how much of a miracle that is. And yeah, the last thing also with the whole repetition thing, good repetitions are gonna build your character, but you don't want the success to go to your head, because the weird part is success actually is a really terrible teacher, right? You're already going to get what you want, which is like a successful business that lets you set your own hours, great friends that make you feel seen and valued as people, a body that like supports your day-to-day thing. You already have what you want. So let the pride go to your guardian angels or God or the universe or whatever else you believe in. It'll keep you humble. It'll keep you down to earth. It'll make more people like you better. Because like if it goes to your head, you just kind of turn into a little, yeah.